let's go to the bro of the night. Bug David. I decided to go Javi Baez. I really want to give it to Lance Lynn, always, because Lance Lynn is on a constant dick-dropping tour, even when he's not pitching well. Javi Baez is kind of the man, and he kind of was the swaggy guy before Tatis.
He was the swaggiest middle infielder going.
Yeah, he did the cool tags, and Javi, Chicago. Now Tatis is kind of coming in and flexing on his space a little bit. Javi Baez is really good, man. He got off to a slow start this year. He hits 2 homers yesterday. Hopefully that sparks him.
If I'm not mistaken, last year's numbers weren't like anything crazy also, so that's playing into it.
It's tough.
Like, it's a good year.
Yeah,
he's good.
I think he is what he is. And like last year, he hit 29 homers. He had a 281 batting average, a 316 on base, and an 847 OPS. So like he's not an on base guy, which a lot of people are nowadays, but he's a middle infielder with awesome pop. He's a free swinger, sure. But that lets him be who he is. So it's one of those things. Like, you could get sucked into the flaws of him not having a high OBP, or you could appreciate everything else he does, and he's awesome. So I hope this gets him going. The Cubs have gotten off to a great start without him. And BBD, we talked about fun facts. We talked about Pringles guy buried in a Pringles can, because we always talk about that.
It's necessary.
Javi Baez's high school baseball stats are some of my favorite fun facts in sports. Just in case you're wondering why you didn't make it to the major leagues, or you're wondering what it might take, Javi Baez's senior year of high school, he hit .771. That's 64 for 83, with 22 homers and 20 doubles. He had a 1.8 slugging percentage. Can you imagine that? Like, imagine the best kid from your high school probably, maybe hitting the high 3s, or maybe not. He was hitting .771 in, Miami. So, Javi Baez.
His, out average is pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
His batting average.
Yes.
Which is kind of just something to say, not actually
facto.
Meaning something.
It's tough. So that's one of my favorite fun facts. Javi Baez, look at the high school stats. It's cool to just read those numbers, because at any level of baseball, that's almost impossible. Like, if I played Little League, I don't know if I could do that.
You can find you some 10-year-olds.
Yeah, like you hit at guys and stuff. I don't know. But Javi Baez, 2 home runs. Cubs are off to a great start. They're one of the stories of the NL this year. They're the second best team, and I don't think anybody saw that coming. So
I don't think anyone pegged them to run away with the division in any amount, but it seems like that's what's going to happen.
They're kind of doing it unless the cards get hot. So who's your bro tonight?
Jake, my bro of the night. I'm giving it to Bam Adebayo.
Okay.
His first name is Edrice.
Ooh.
Edrice is how it's spelled.
Edrice.
I don't know the origin of the Bam nickname. Actually, I recall it's something about when he was a kid and he would.
Yeah, it's something with
Bam
Bam, I think. Yeah.
He's also 10 days younger than me, so that's BS.
Damn.
I
remember
and
that.
also from New Jersey.
I remember that.
But yeah, he puts in a good performance, and you look at the numbers, and they've been pretty silly. Turned himself into kind of a do-it-all guy. The shooting isn't what he does, but he can put the ball on the floor for you. I'm not sure how many centers you would pick if you had your pick of the whole league before you get to Bam.
Yeah.
Especially with the age and stuff. He's just a really cool player.
It's yeah, man. I think he was one of the most improved players this year. I don't know how the
Gotta
NBA
be the favorite for that.
Yeah, I don't know how the awards end up sorting out for basketball. I think he was the favorite, and then the world stopped, so people stopped talking about it. But he's a really good passer. He's another one of these guys that played at Kentucky, and they kind of didn't use him right at all. But it also hasn't hurt them as professionals. It's him.
They still work on all the stuff.
It's Karl Anthony Towns, and there's another guy that they just totally misused. And then they became pros, and they're like, oh, yeah, they can do this stuff, too. And everyone was like, what? So
Booker off the bench. That's a stack team.
Yeah.
technically, well, not exactly the same thing, but Kevin Knox, like, never dribbled or whatever. Maybe that should have been the thing.
Yeah.
But coming out of college when the
was
Knicks
right.
drafted him, they were like, actually, he can handle way better than he showed at Kentucky because they never asked him to do it. So they just kind of do that, where they, like, have you work on everything and become the best pro you can be.
Yeah.
It didn't work for Kevin Knox. But
Jamal Murray gets a shout-out in the chat.
Murray.
Kentucky, man. They're stacked. Bam's a good one, BBD. He's the Heat are good. The Heat are really good. I'm interested to see if they can give a scare. They'll be playing the Bucks, we think. Are they playing the Celtics? I think they're playing the Bucks because they're the
Celtics,
4.
Raptors.
Celtics, Raptors. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to be tough. Bam's probably going to be on Giannis, so if he wants to make a name for himself, now's the time. But, yeah, that's a good one, BBD.